Okay, my aim is not bad. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to reach Immortal. But just because it's not bad doesn't make it good. So I started wondering what happens after 1 month of aim training.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No walking from
First, we need an aim trainer. I've already played some aim labs, so for this video I wanted to try a different one. Kovaak's. It was on sale when I was looking for aim trainers, so let's buy the game, install it, and launch. But wait, pause. Before we can actually start aim training, we need to find a good professional aim training routine. I will be using this routine created by Aimer7, so let's go over it. First up, we got Strafe Kata. You basically try and follow this little blob as best as you can, and you do this for about 10 minutes every day. After this, I play Close Fast Strafes Easy or Kata Ise Fast Strafes, depending on which day it is, also for 10 minutes each. Next up, we got Bounce 180 or Bounce 180 tracking. Again, I switch them up depending on which day it is. Like all others, I do this for about 10 minutes. After bouncing balls, we go to 1 wall 5 targets pasu. I gotta say, this one definitely looks easier than it actually is. Your score gets multiplied by your accuracy, so you really can't miss a lot. And again, I do this for about 10 minutes each session. Moving on, I do a target switching exercise. I choose out of Tau Frenzy 180 strafing tracking, what a name, LG pin practice 360 and target switching 360. These are again played 10 minutes per session. After this, I do a run of Ground Plaza Easy. I only do one run because I don't really have much fun with this one. Because one of the blobs just keeps blinking around and it's so frustrating sometimes. And then to finish off, I play vertical long strafes. I always looked forward to doing this one because after it, I knew I was done with the session and I could stop. Instead of showing all my scores, I made some graphs to show how my averages of each session evolved over time. I will also be showing the leaderboard with my high score to give some perspective on how good or bad my score is. So let's start with Strafe's Kata Invincible. Since I played this every session, I have a lot of data points, which makes the graph a bit more accurate. In this task, I had a 30.85% improvement, which is pretty respectable. Moving on to Close Fast Strafes Easy, I had an improvement of 20.84%, which is again pretty good in my opinion. Now looking at its sister exercise, Kata Ise Fast Strafes, my improvement was noticeably larger. I had a 35.45% improvement over the month, which just shows why it's important to do both tasks equally. Next up we got the bouncing balls. Starting with Bounce 180, I improved the most of all the other tasks with a 59.3% improvement, which is just insane. Now the Bounce 180 tracking improvement isn't as impressive, but still respectable with a 28.05% improvement over 1 month. Moving on again to 1 wall 5 targets pasu. This one was again an insane transformation. I had a 54.31% improvement over the course of 1 month. Again, I did this one every session, so I have a lot of data points, so this graph is pretty accurate of how my skill improved over time. Now next up, I got the target switching tasks. I'm just gonna quickly show these. The graphs aren't very impressive and neither are the improvement percentage points. This is because the scores lie so close to each other. You can get 1 point extra and this can put you in like a 5th percentile higher. So I'll just quickly show them and be done with it. You can always pause the video to get a closer look at the data. Now next up we got Ground Plaza Easy. Now this one's interesting because I did get a lot of data points because I also played this daily. I only played it once and Aimer7 recommended it to do it once or twice. I chose once because, like I said before, it wasn't fun. But as you can see, that may have hindered my progression because I only had a 4.3% improvement. Now, when I look at the leaderboard, I can see that I'm in the 20th percentile, which may mean that I'm just nearing my skill ceiling for this exercise, which could explain my slow improvement. Now, last but not least, we got vertical long strafes. This is an exercise I did every session again, so I had a lot of data points, and just looking at the graph, it's pretty impressive how my skill just kept climbing and climbing. Overall, I had a 48.26% improvement, which is huge. And I reached the highest percentile out of every task that it did. which is the top 6.1% of players, which is crazy knowing that my first average score was well below the median score, which means I was like worse than more than half of all the players. Now all these numbers that are saying that I improved over this 1 month are interesting to look at, but they aren't really meaningful if your gameplay also doesn't improve. So that's why I'll be showing you some of my clips that I got after training. I definitely feel a lot more consistent, and this was very important for me because you need to be consistent if you want to climb to a higher elo. Now before I show the clips, let's show my rank improvement over the course of 1 month. When I started this challenge, I was Diamond 3 in Valorant, and now at the end, I'm hovering fairly consistently at around Immortal 2, which is a more than 200 RR improvement over 1 month by just doing aim training every other day. And I think if I were lower elo, I would have climbed a lot more even. So yeah, I'm definitely very pleased with the results, and I'll just show some clips now. No!
The left.
Last player standing. One.
God bless you.
One's mid.
Spike down A.
One more.
One enemy remaining.
Woo!
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. Spike planted.
I'm low, can you heal? I'm low, can you heal?
One enemy remaining.
You?
Hello? Hello? Can you heal?
I cannot, sorry.
And
One ropes.
one enemy remaining.
Nice clutch, man.
Let's go!
Public.
Whiff whiff.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go!
Spike planted.
Good job, good job.
My smoke is down.
Alt HP. Allah is alt HP.
One enemy remaining.
They were opening. I'll look behind now.